Hello everybody, welcome to Mindovermania. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be doing another pick-a-group reading. We've got 4 piles here today, and we're going to be answering the question, no contact, what's going on in your situation? Maybe this person has not been talking to you, maybe there was an unexpected absence of the person, maybe you're just on a break. Take whatever resonates with you. This situation applies to both romantic partners, family, friendship. It's non-gender specific. However, in general, sometimes romance does play a factor in the energy since there's a lot of collective people asking about it. So take whatever resonates with you in your message. Before you select your pile, I want you to ground your energy, take a deep breath, have both feet planted on the ground, and try to select a pile that resonates with you the most. Pay attention to your inner voice and try not to project too much onto the situation, and allow your intuition to guide you to the message that you need to hear. I will see you at your pile. Hello everyone, you have chosen pile number 1, and we're going to discuss what is going on with your no contact situation. We're going to start off with a little bit of a vibe check to make sure that this is the appropriate pile for you, and then we're going to go ahead and pull some cards to see what's happening in your situation. So what I'm feeling with your pile group 1 is this is definitely a no contact situation. Maybe this person ghosted you. Something about the way this card looks with the skeleton with the sunglasses. There's definitely an energy of, nope, not talking to this person ever again. And it could be you might have this energy as well. Something about this relationship has died in some kind of a sense, or maybe not necessarily. There's a little bit of a question mark to the end of this energy. I'm going to go ahead and pull a card or two to see what's kind of more what's going on about the vibe of this connection between you and this other person. Again, death may be a factor, so maybe there was a funeral and someone had passed away. So if this is a family member, you might have seen them at a funeral, but beyond that, you're not really emotionally attached to this person. If this is maybe, again, maybe family also might be keeping this person away, so maybe they experienced a death. So there might be some unexpected grief going on in this person's life that you may or may not be aware of. We have your thoughts are lying to you on this. So there's definitely some confusion about your relationship with this person as a result of either the last time you talked to them or about just your situation with them in general. I do feel you are overthinking a lot of what's happening between this connection. Maybe you're projecting an idea of them with the sunglasses or whatever. Maybe you have an idea that they're thinking, oh, well, they're too cool to hang out with me, or I'm too cool to spend time with this person, so I'm not going to bother. There's a little bit of a disconnect and a disoriented energy because of the lack of information that's causing your brain to come up with answers and create equations to figure this person out when I don't think it's as deep as you believe it to be. Some of you guys are also kind of a little spiteful. Specifically because of the way that this person left you. Maybe that you feel like they did you dirty and that you deserved better. For some of you, I don't believe this is entirely personal, but for some other people, maybe there was a secret hidden building up resentment that happened as well. There's kind of a split between the collective of who's watching, so we'll get some more cards to figure out what's up. Don't let your emotions cloud your heart space. Use your heart. Yeah. Again, this is kind of all tied into this looping internally where you're in this inner battle between maybe this person did me dirty and left me behind as a result of some consequences, or you're really deflecting your emotions into a logical headspace because you're really not believing in your connection with this person. I feel like some of you guys, my eyes are drawn to this. Some of you guys are in your own grieving process, and so you felt very rejected and abandoned when this person left you behind. If this was a friend or a friend group, I feel like there was a lot of unspoken rules that maybe you didn't know how to keep up with, or I'm just seeing with emotions, you weren't allowed to hold space for your own emotions when you're around this person. So again, take what resonates, but there's some lying energy going on here too. Do what feels right. Yeah, I feel like this person may have also kind of deflected a little bit when they said do what feels right, or maybe it feels that way to you. Maybe there was a lack of emotional support in this connection or this dynamic that you didn't speak up on and ask for more information. Again, I'm seeing equations, so it's almost like maybe you had a transactional expectation with this person. So when they left you and didn't really create a resolution, you're trying to do what feels right for you. And that's probably why you're watching this card reading, because you're thinking, should I stay around this person? Should I consider letting them back into my life? Should I wait for them to reach out? There's a lot of questions and no answers going on. And again, I'm feeling like there's kind of like a little bit of a laughter from this person because there's some kind of situation that's been withheld from you that they're sort of laughing to themselves about. Or maybe you're projecting that onto this person. Again, I think when we start pulling some cards, we'll get a little bit more clarity, and I might want to do a little bit of a separate reading to try to separate this energy out for you guys to figure out what's actually the truth and what's maybe you lying to yourself about this situation. Okay. When I was pulling these cards, I feel like you guys need to make a definitive decision whenever it comes to this person. And right now, you are struggling to make that decision of letting this person go. Again, I keep looking back to that skull with the sunglasses. You're trying to hide your emotions from yourself. Maybe there's some shame in regards to this emotion of maybe you had more feelings than you anticipated, or maybe you don't want to look like the fool by leaving this person behind. Take what resonates, but fool in particular is coming out to me where maybe you felt very foolish by supporting this person. The happy squirrel card right here, it's a squirrel with a bunch of fire and an infinity symbol, and I feel like ADHD has definitely got your mind in a spiral or a loop, or maybe this person. There's definitely a chaotic energy that's going around both you and this person and the connection. Over here, we've got the world is on fire. What are you going to do about it? Don't give up on yourself. You're my hero, and a fight's likely. So what's drawing my eye to this connection is don't give up on yourself, you're my hero. I feel like you need to take that stance with yourself. Don't allow another person to pressure you or put you into this situation. I don't even think for some of you guys, this person even realizes this is the situation you've been put in as a result of their absence, especially with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse. There's maybe financial trouble going on with this person, and so they're just trying to play it safe, play it cool, and try to figure out what the heck is happening on their own side of the house. We've also got death too, and this person with a stick that is toiling out in the garden. Maybe this person is having a hard time dealing with a loss of maybe some footing or grounding, and I just see them, they're working very hard, but it's not working out, and they're too ashamed to tell you. Also with this publishing goblin, maybe this person's also very creative. Or maybe you need to write your thoughts down and express your own emotions creatively. There's something about sitting down and maybe being at a computer a lot, so maybe you need to kind of touch some grass and get away from this situation, especially if maybe this was an online person and they just randomly unfollowed you, stopped contacting you. There's an energy of needing to release and detach and finding ways to connect back with yourself. We've gotten this accordion here that maybe says, yeah, maybe go play some music, maybe go get active within your hobbies once again, and try to stay positive. There's a lot more happening in the world than what's going on with this connection, and I feel for you guys, the pain and what your mind is focusing on is not as important as what you should be focusing on. Specifically with this card, the world is on fire. What are you going to do about it? Some of you guys, and maybe it's a majority of you guys, you're not allowing your thoughts and emotions to coexist because of your current either financial situation, the situation of the world. You're feeling stressed out about your own issues, and so you're projecting a lot of that chaos into this scenario. Now, if this is a friendship or a person that maybe you were pretty close to and they just randomly pulled away, I feel like their world is on fire right now, and specifically, maybe they were kind of wondering, what are you gonna do about it? If your friend, if you didn't realize that they've been in trouble, what would you do about that situation? Would you reach out to them and say, hey, here's some words of encouragement to you? I don't necessarily feel like reaching out to this person at this time is the best. But if you are feeling like this person, the way they left you, or maybe you're feeling they did you dirty, maybe take a step back and really evaluate what they've told you leading up into this point and where you've seen either their social media going, where they're progressing. Take an assessment of their life situation and try to reconcile with the fact that maybe you're overreacting a little bit when it comes to the importance of your having crystal clarity on what's going on with them. Some of you guys are very reliant on honesty and doubling down on them telling you things when that may not necessarily be appropriate at this time. This person in particular feels maybe shame for what's going on. Maybe they get really, really excited in certain scenarios and you've only seen that side of them. I feel like you guys are not getting a full picture of this person, and that's what's making it very hard. And the word credibility came to mind, and I'm feeling like you guys are like, well, because they said all these things, I don't take them very seriously. I don't think they're very credible anymore. And I think you guys just need to understand that this person's going through something regardless of how you feel they should be reacting to it. And not everybody's going to rush to their friendships to heal through these things, especially if there's like some childhood trauma here. But with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse, I do feel financial issues is a strain on this relationship. So you're going to have to find some room in your heart to give this person some grace, especially since, the economy is the way that it is. There's a lot of pressure on this person and families right now. So maybe they can't live up to their expectations. Maybe they've got dreams that they're working towards that you're not aware of. Just don't take it personally with this person, particularly regardless of what went down. A fight's likely. I feel like the fighting card definitely tells me that if you tried confronting this person right now, I definitely feel like they'd defend themselves and try to defend their honor in their own regard. I feel like because maybe you don't have all the information about the situation, you want to fight them, but you're trying to hold yourself back because you're like, how could you treat me this way? Why did you say those things? And if you do feel necessary to have that fight, go for it. But I think for a majority of you, please don't engage with this person while they're healing. If they are meant to come back to you, they will. And if they don't, then you need to release that energy and emotion regardless. It's going to hurt you long term holding on to an experience that maybe you shared in the past when maybe this person's being pulled in a different direction. In any case, because of the lack of stability with this no contact situation, you're going to want to get very grounded and assess what your needs are first before engaging with this relationship further. I know you guys care. I know you love them. And maybe you have abundance that you can share with them, but right now, just keep the peace and keep moving forward on your situation. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for supporting my YouTube channel and watching this reading. If you would like more content, please like, subscribe, and follow my social medias. Check out all the information in the description below for how you can book a private reading with me. I am available for bookings at this time, and I do appreciate donations. They help me out. We also have free tarot reading live streams every Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 7 p.m. Central. So we hope to see you there and join our community. Thank you guys so much again, and I will see you next time. Take care. Hey everybody, you have chosen pile number 2. We're going to start off with a little bit of a vibe check to make sure that this is the right pile for you. And then we're going to go ahead and get into more of the details of this no contact situation between you and this person. I was about to say your person, so this pile more than likely, this may be a romantic relationship or somebody that you feel like you have a little bit of an ownership or just a very heavy connection with them. And I say heavy because maybe there's something that you really relate to them in terms of maybe spirituality, personal beliefs. Maybe you went through similar traumas with this person. I do feel like you guys feel a little possessive over this person. I'm not going to lie. Let's go ahead and pull some cards to get some more information about what is this no contact situation. Okay, pile number 2. Specifically, I'm feeling you guys definitely had some childhood trauma related energy going on. Specifically, I'm hearing that you guys were helping each other heal. So maybe you guys used to talk about your past a lot. Healing may be something that you guys really, really resonated with in terms of maybe your creative projects, or maybe there was a dynamic between the two of you that really brought you awareness to your situation and to your past. Specifically, I'm seeing history. This no contact person more than likely was a either a spouse, a significant other that you felt very strongly towards, or maybe just even a best friend that really, really shaped who you are. Specifically, this could be someone you knew it from childhood, or maybe when you were a young adult, a young man, young woman, young non-binary person. Whatever your history is, you have history with this person. And specifically, when I'm looking at this Sphinx with the cracked eye, I almost feel that when this person left, there was some kind of a boundary that had been crossed, or maybe there was just some sort of conflict between you two that really just was irreparable, or there was some kind of a disaster that happened. Something significant happened that parted you guys' ways, because I feel like under normal circumstances, you would not have walked away from this person. I definitely feel like maybe you were the one that walked away as opposed to this other person, but the roles could have been reversed and the other person was just waiting for you to make that move rather than the other way around, specifically because of just that history of whatever you guys went through. Forgiveness is a theme here, where maybe there was somebody that said something that there needed to be forgiveness. There's almost like maybe someone had a soft spot for the other person and was not aware of their true feelings for this person. So when that person walked away, you basically said, "Oh shoot, I messed up." Or maybe you're kind of realizing, "Wow, I shouldn't have said things that way." Maybe you used to have very honest conversations, and now looking back on it and having reflections, you're saying to yourself, "Man, I wish I would have done something differently or done better." I'm feeling as though, again, I'm seeing like the hands together, almost as though maybe you're praying for a sign that this person either forgives you, that there's going to be relief from the stress. Because I do feel like you're concerned about this person. Um you're worried about crossing boundaries, if whether you should reach back out to this person, if maybe it's too late to reconcile. Compromise is coming out here because it feels as though that maybe you guys weren't compromising on certain areas when maybe you should have. And you kind of took for granted that this situation was always going to be there, specifically because you have this history with them. Maybe if this was a family member, not for most of you, but maybe you felt like this person felt like family to you, and this person showed you that that wasn't necessarily reciprocated, those feelings. So you kind of were at liberty and casual with this relationship as a result. Alien, telepathic dreams, songs. Maybe you're writing songs about this person. Maybe you are having dreams about them. For some of you guys, I think you feel like you're telepathically tapping into them, but I think a majority of you are not actually on their same frequency or wavelength anymore. Maybe this person has done some cord cutting, or they're just not interested in reconciling. Take what resonates, but this telepathic energy, I feel like you guys are a little too much in your head and making projections about this person and how connected you actually are with their feelings and thoughts, especially if you're running around doing tarot readings about them, or asking spirit guides or asking for readings on this person. I do feel there's some divine protection around them, so that way they can move on and move forward in peace, because their energy does not want anything to do with you at this current time. I definitely feel like whatever happened in the past was significant for you. And commitment, long-term relationship, maybe this person was your potential long-term partner. Maybe you were looking to commit to this person and you didn't say anything. I am seeing with this forgiveness and regrets, maybe there was, maybe some of your morals got compromised, or maybe you didn't show up the way that you were supposed to and you lost an opportunity with this person. Anyways, y'all, there's a little bit of conflicting energy, but we'll go into that whenever we start pulling more cards. If that didn't sound like you, then feel free to select another pile, but we're going to go ahead and dive into this situation a bit more to figure out what's actually going on with this person, and what can you do to kind of get some relief from this stress and burden. Whew. Okay, y'all, so this is going to be a bit of a hard pill for some of y'all to swallow. So my first instinct was drawn to look at this Emperor card that we have right here in the bottom, and I feel like you need to really get back into your Emperor or Empress energy. Specifically, you need to take charge about your emotions, thoughts, and actions. specifically in terms of taking action about moving away from this person. I feel like regardless of however the break happened, I don't foresee this person coming back likely, or at least in the same energy of what you're used to. A lot of you guys are kind of clinging on to hope right now, and I have a feeling that this pile is not going to get what they desire, especially in the current energy that they're in. That's why, again, I'm seeing with this light coming down and pouring onto this emperor. It's almost like liquid gold pouring on his face. You need to really start standing in your truth and in your personal power. And I say personal power because maybe some of you guys have some unhealthy relationships with toxic masculinity, toxic friendship ideals. Specifically, I feel like because maybe you felt obligated to this person's power or to this person's actions or thoughts, you really overstepped maybe this person's personal boundaries. And that's not okay. But as long as you are willing to take accountability for your actions and not continue this pattern going forward, I feel like it's going to go a lot smoother for you. Focusing on this Knight of Pentacles, I feel like you need to acknowledge that this person will be happier with somebody else at this current moment in time. And regardless of how strongly you believe you're meant to be with this person, that person's happier. I'm going to be straight with you. This person is happy where they are at with their current situation. Maybe they're pursuing their own dreams and goals, and maybe you kind of took energy away from that without them realizing, which, it's okay if someone's very supportive of you, but there was some sort of an action which crossed a boundary and made this person feel kind of used. Again, I'm seeing like with the clinging to money, they're kind of sitting there saying, hey, I used to give out all this time and energy and these gifts and whatever. I'm seeing like maybe gift giving was their love language. And then when you stopped like receiving it or started to sort of just expect it, they kind of said, and I'm going to pull my energy back. Yeah, that's okay. Yay, I'm going to go be happier over here. You know what I mean? And, maybe some of you guys, it was just a matter of not having social cues or the right language to tell them what was going on with you, but you do deserve to at least apologize to this person for how you made them feel. I don't recommend reaching out, but at least, kind of saying it out into the universe to give yourself some peace of mind. We have something unique to just us, so I do want you to at least acknowledge that you and this person did have a unique connection. This wasn't something that was just made up, or, some of you guys are like, well, this person was lying to me, or just having some self-doubts. And I really want you to start releasing that shame because you guys were unique. You weren't prepared for this connection. I don't feel like a lot of you guys understand that relationships like what you had with this person do not come by very often. So whenever you have a falling out with a person like this, it's expected that it's going to be more painful. When someone's able to fit more of the puzzle pieces in your puzzle than anybody else, you're not going to always have the skills and knowledge to know how to handle that kind of person. So pat yourself on the back and release all that shame, because we're here on a journey, right? And you're not always going to meet the same person at the same time. And it's not like there's a special formula. And sometimes really great, amazing people come into our lives too soon or at the wrong time, and then you figure out too late what was going on. But that was part of the journey, and that's part of your journey in particular. So focus on taking the lessons away that will make you empowered, so then when you go and get what you deserve and what you desire, you're not going to have all this guilt and shame. Even now, I'm like feeling of my mouth wanting to close up and not talk about it. And I feel like you need to start having better conversations with yourself. Maybe your conversations with this person, they weren't always honest with you because of something sacred. Maybe they were just ashamed of their own thoughts and feelings, or maybe they just didn't feel like it was worth something about projecting, or maybe they were concerned about not getting too close to you. Yeah, it's a little messy. So I'm feeling like, again, if you guys had a relationship with a traumatized person, this person might not have fully been able to articulate what was going wrong too. Your blessings are still blessings, even if it doesn't appear how you want. Yeah, and I feel like you should respect your own boundaries and self-worth by acknowledging that this relationship was a blessing. And not all blessings are meant to last, but you still have plenty around you. You have plenty of opportunities to make soul-fulfilling, meaningful connections and relationships. So don't do what you did to this person to others, right? and allow that abundance, allow things to flow towards you and not away from you as a result of this. Just because you made a mistake does not mean you need to cut off all contact from everybody that you ever cared about. You don't need to reject everybody because they're not like this person. Just do some soul searching to figure out why you're so harshly reacting and rejecting that version of yourself that, you know, stands out. Maybe it's because you are a unique person and you're afraid of shining that unique version of you to the world. That's very important that you don't allow that version of yourself to hide. And this person, if anything, should have shown you that you're maybe not as unique as you think, from the standpoint of there are other people like you out there. Not everybody, but there's enough that they can at least connect with you. And you'll find more people that will connect with your authentic self when you start going and being that every single day and letting it shine. You know, making sure you're letting your shining light come down onto you and pour into you and not onto others. I notice with this group, you have a tendency to deflect with people as well. You're like, oh, I want to shine and dump on other people, but that's not supporting them authentically. You're not seeing their truth and not respecting their boundaries. We've got Keeper of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I feel like you need to stop with the Knight in Shining Armor act and start focusing on protecting your inner balance and your inner sword. Because I feel like sometimes you wield either your words or your actions a little bit too closely to your chest, and so you end up cutting yourself more than using it for what it's useful. You're not protecting people as much as you think you are, and I think that hurts for you to admit to yourself, but it's okay because at the end of the day, there's an equal give and take with all relationships, and you're not supposed to be this person's savior. You never were supposed to be, and I think when you stop putting yourself in that role and start seeing that other person in an empowered state, maybe you'll realize that maybe you let this person down by not letting them step up and support you back. Take what resonates. Again, right now you've got a blank canvas ahead of you, so start painting, start creating, start releasing whatever was blocking you before. And maybe because you have a blank mind, because you're like, I don't know what comes next. This was all I ever wanted. What do I do now? Start writing about it. I think you'll figure out what you want as soon as you let go of these toxic emotions and whatever toxicity you've swallowed into your heart space that maybe someone else put there. Again, take whatever resonates, but there's something where your heart space is kind of blocked out and you need to get in touch with that again. Finally, we're going to end the reading with the Queen of Bombs. And the Queen of Bombs is basically a metaphor for the 50s woman, the 50s housewife who, in the face of immediate destruction, you want to curl up on her lap and everything's going to be okay, even though you're like, well, we may have our house blown up tomorrow, but we're not entirely sure when, so we're going to crawl up to mom. I definitely feel like this person is your go-to muse, support system, and thought process whenever you're trying to get through something difficult. And you need to start weaning yourself off of this idea. You can't be utilizing a person that's not currently in your life to support you anymore in that way, because it's you projecting an image onto this person further and keeping you in a hole that you don't deserve to be. Don't let this relationship hurt you further and hold you back. Okay, guys? Anyways, that was your reading. Thank you so much for your time and energy. I appreciate you supporting my YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below if you liked this reading and if it resonated with you. If you would like to purchase a personal reading, my DMs are open, so please check out the description for how you can do that. I also am accepting donations at this time, so I really appreciate you guys sending that abundance and love this way. We also have live streams every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 7 p.m. Central, so come hang out, get some free tarot readings, and hang out with a great group of people. Love you guys, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Hey everybody, you have chosen pile number 3. We're going to start off with a bit of a vibe check to make sure that this is your pile. So take whatever resonates, but if it doesn't feel like you can select another pile, or maybe it's not the right reading for you. Right off the bat, when I was trying to ground myself between readings, this pile in particular, I kept feeling you gotta let this go. You have been holding so tightly to the past that this person, this no contact situation, I don't even know why you're asking about this person, because this person has been out of your life for a long time, and I I don't almost want to even continue with this reading because I want to let you know that you are in a self-sabotaging state. You're allowing this mental prison to keep you trapped, focusing on people from your past that have no business being brought into your present, especially when this person did not treat you well. Especially for you guys, because you are grieving a child version of yourself or a younger version of yourself from your past that you wish you could have done better, shoulda, woulda, coulda energy. And this is not the reading or tarot reader for you if you want to stay in this energy. So I'm going to give you guys the opportunity right now to click off this reading if you are looking for messages of trying to contact this person, whether you should do anything for the answer is no, and you need to let this go. And I'm not the reader that's going to encourage that kind of behavior. From this moment on in the reading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you messages on how you can release this energy and move forward, because there is some childhood trauma wound that we're going to explore to help you release this energy so that way you can get focused on your current pathway and get you to the love you actually deserve and want. I'm not going to be enabling you to continue to pursue things that don't support you and are not in your highest good. And I hope that you receive that message. Take it for what resonates. Anyways, let's go ahead and pull some cards to figure out, why are you still watching tarot readings and asking about this person when they have no relevance to your current lifestyle or path? I feel like maybe lifestyle does play a role into why you're watching tarot readings about this person. It feels like you're kind of stuck in your own life, and there's kind of like a escapism present, but also projecting something onto this other person. Regardless of if this was a good person for you or not, I feel like you were played. This could have been a player, so maybe this was someone who was maybe famous, somebody who came across as having it all together, maybe they were very attractive, but there's definitely a problem going on here where you are not acknowledging that this person does not want anything to do with you. They're not watching your stories, they're not paying attention to your social media. Even if you're friends on social media, which I kind of doubt for most of you, but even if you still are friends, this person is not watching you as much as you're looking out for him or them. Yeah, again, I feel like this particular pile feels like it's a majority female audience, but there might be some masculines in here too, or the non-binaries. I won't discriminate, but especially I feel like I resonate with this feminine longing of wanting to be noticed and acknowledged and have this person give you what you desire, which tells me in childhood you maybe had an unmet wound where you were not allowed to express yourself fully. You were not given the things that you desired. You know, maybe you were like, hey, I really want that Barbie dream house. And your parents said, well, Barbie's stupid and not good for you, so we're not going to buy it for you. You know what I mean? And then it just kind of like caused you to shut down. There's a lot of that energy of your authentic feminine energy being repressed. And so then now you're seeking out relationships and dynamics that hurt you because it's keeping you trapped there because you don't know how to heal that inner child. The first card I pulled was realization, awareness, finding out, coming to light. Yeah, you need to find out why you want to be chasing after people that don't give you the time of day. All right. And specifically, you do this not just with this particular person. You've done this in a lot of your relationships where maybe you've been suffering from limerence, which is an experience where you have romantic feelings towards someone that's not currently in your life. Maybe you need to set some boundaries within yourself to say, hey, I am only going to allow and attract people in my life who actually care about me. So even if this person, maybe when you were together, this person half-assed their time with you. Maybe they only showed up some of the times when you hung out, or when you did, they were constantly on their phone. You're used to being in environments where you're being ignored, and that's personally not okay. You should have a boundary with yourself that I will not allow people to treat me this way because I don't have the time, energy, or, I have the self-respect to understand that I'm not going to be treated that way. When people do that behavior to me, they don't care about me authentically. And I will no longer suffer the consequences of putting up with this kind of behavior because this isn't okay. We've got action. So you need to take action towards yourself and towards somebody, right? And I feel like right now you are very stagnant. You choose to just sit and ruminate rather than taking action about your situation. Maybe you guys are struggling with your weight. Maybe you're struggling with your mental health, whatever it is, but you need to get up and start doing things differently. Go for a walk. Go start eating something differently. Small baby steps, whatever it is you got to do, because, obviously, I know life is hard, but you need to start being accountable and understanding no one is coming to rescue you. And I think you're kind of just in this waiting energy of, well, in time, someone's going to show up and they're going to change my whole life. And honestly, pile 3, you guys are not going to find that. You're not. There's no one that's coming to save you. You are going to be that person. And you're like, oh gosh, another person telling me I need to do something. No, 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 no. But like, remind yourself, would you allow a child to stay trapped inside of a house their entire life because their parents don't want to go get a job? At some point, you got to go get money. At some point, you got to go get groceries. At some point, you got to experience things for yourself. So staying trapped in a childlike energy is like being a child and being helpless is not the purpose of your life. You have to go towards things that you desire. You have to set an intention. Even if you don't have to have all the answers, but you guys are trying to set up an equation where it's like, well, if I put in X amount of energy, then I will receive Y. And that is not how life works fundamentally. Maybe you had very transactional parents where you needed to do things to get their approval. So when you are left out into the world to go do things for yourself, you have no foundation. And this is very scary energy, you guys. I don't blame you for being stuck, because learned helplessness is a difficult thing to overcome. So that's why you got to literally treat this version of you that keeps ruminating on people, talk to it like a child, saying, what do you need right now? What actually, like, what need would this person fulfill for you if they were here? Then go do that for yourself, right? And you're like, oh, it hurts. Well, it hurts. And it's like, yeah, of course it hurts, right? But at some point, you have to teach a child how to get up after they fall on the ground. You don't let the child lay there forever. Eventually, they get up and they move on, right? But somebody taught you to not do that because then they could take energy from you. And some of you guys, maybe someone didn't even teach you that. It's just that's reflectively how you act. Let's go ahead and get more cards. Yeah, so we've got invading, right? You guys are a little bit... You're kind of invading somebody's energy or space by constantly watching out for them. And some of this is like hyper focus where it may be a trauma response, but some of you guys just don't have boundaries to understand that, like, standing around and watching a person from a distance doesn't feel good, right? So again, there's a social stigma with like men doing this, right? If you were a man and you were doing this towards someone would call you a stalker. But if you're sitting there doing it to a guy, you're not, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying you guys are all doing this with ill intentions, but again, if there was a double standard here and someone watched you doing this stuff, yeah, they'd get angry at a guy doing that and call him creepy, right? And I'm not saying to shame you guys, but I want you to understand that if you are constantly invading someone's energy or asking from the past or whatever, it feels invasive to that other person. And if you actually give a crap about somebody else, then you're going to stop doing those kinds of behaviors, because if you actually cared about this person from your past, you wouldn't want them to feel uncomfortable around you, right? And ask yourself, what boundaries were crossed within you that you learned that this was okay, right? Is it because you're ashamed and you're like, well, no one's going to give me love anyway, so I have to resort to certain kinds of behavior to fill that void? Or maybe I'm hiding myself from something that I desire, so instead I'm just going to watch it from afar. Like, don't do that to yourself, hon. Seriously, it's okay that, maybe you're ashamed of who you are, maybe you're dealing with insecurities, but like, don't hide. There are so many opportunities out there to grow and change, so that way you can have the strength to go be yourself and go shine the way that you're meant to. You are not supposed to be living behind closed doors, walls, whatever it is. Come out and shine in your own way. Maybe even if it's in your own backyard, do it in private first. Again, because depending on what you went through, maybe you have a hard time standing in your power, but you guys really need to start taking action and start living instead of doing this looping energy. Material world, yeah, maybe some of you guys, you were wishing for financial gain with this person. Maybe you're struggling or worried about money, or you're just intimidated by the world in general. But at the end of the day, like I said, you're not meant to be living at home. You're not meant to be living inside of your head. You got to go out there and learn some social skills. Again, highly recommend, going to therapy for this group, so that way you can learn to have better coping skills with whatever happened. Yeah, haunted. Yeah, there's a lot of haunting energy, and it's like maybe you're trying to escape this haunted energy. You can't feel like this person will get out of your head. So for those of you that maybe you are struggling with limerence where you're just avoiding thinking about this person because they just can't leave your head, there are mental health reasons for that to occur. So it's also not necessarily a choice on your part too, especially if you maybe got ADHD, neurodivergence, and whatnot. That's pretty common for those types of people to experience that. And, you know, you can also just say, hey, it's just the reaction of my mental health. I'm not actually ruminating about this person. My brain just may be wired differently, and this is a symptom of it. Because this is a pretty common thing amongst neurodivergent people, especially neurodivergent women. So again, though, make sure that you're taking care of your mental health. Take supplements, you know, do your fish oil, magnesium, vitamin Bs, all that good stuff, and talk to a professional about this so that way you're not allowing this energy to continue further. We've got deception and then numbing. Yeah, a lot of this focusing on the no contact situation is you're deceiving yourself so that way you can feel in control, and then you're numbing yourself out too. So please don't lie to yourself, guys. Don't be delusional and focus on this person anymore. Okay, like you're doing this as a self-protection mechanism to cope with the fact that something's going on in your life right now that you're not able to cope with, and that is completely okay. All right, I want to say this, that even though I am direct about, you know, calling you out, at the same time also it's because I want you to understand that you deserve better, and that you can deceive yourself as much as you want about this particular situation, but if nothing's going on and it hasn't been, and this is just an out of the blue reading for you, don't get your hopes up. Don't do witchy magic on it, because you're just focusing on something that's taking you away from your gifts, your story. Write your own story, and you might be like, I don't even have an interesting story. And it's like, that's okay. Life doesn't have to be, you know, like a Hollywood movie, you know? Maybe you guys read a lot of fiction books and whatnot, but I'm telling you right now, guys, like if you really genuinely want a partner, you are not in the headspace for it right now, and I recommend working on yourself. I'm saying that with a lot of love to you guys. I know exactly how this energy feels, and I want you to know that it's not going to last forever, and don't allow it to last longer than it needs to, okay? Especially with this invading energy, guys. Like you want to be careful with that energy, you know? I don't want you guys creating issues for yourself that were not necessary in the first place because you're having a hard time struggling with your mental health, okay? And with boundaries. So set boundaries and say, hey, if I was this person and I was having this another person do this kind of behavior to me, would I like it? And would I respect them even if I liked it and they didn't, right? That's something as well, is that if your person, you know, showed up at this reading and saw that you were doing readings about them years in the future, how would you care about their reaction? Would you care how they felt? All right? And so actually ask yourself, do you care about that other person's feelings in terms of your romantic ties with this person? Maybe not even just this person, but romantic relationships in general. Because if you are actually having a healthy companionship, you will be able to hear and listen to their thoughts and needs. And just because yours were neglected does not mean that you need to neglect that in others too. Anyways, I'm sending you guys some big hugs. I know this abandonment trauma is hard work to get through, but I know you guys will make it out. Again, don't let it haunt you guys. Please seek out a professional and talk to somebody about it too, because your feelings are valid and you're not going through this alone, okay? Sending you a lot of love. That was your reading. If you like this reading, please like and subscribe and follow me on my social medias. Check out the description below for booking if you would like a personal reading. I also do live streams every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 7 p.m. Central. And also please comment, you know, so that way I know what pile you had, if there was any sort of information you'd love me to do readings on in the future, because this is the sort of energy that it's hard to work through, and understanding that you're not alone, and that you shouldn't be abandoning yourself at this time, is important. So you've got a community that can support you. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Please considering donating. Link is in the description, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Hey everybody, you have chosen pile number 4. We're going to start off with a bit of a vibe check to figure out if this is the right pile for you. And then we're going to go ahead and get into your situation about Why is this person in no contact with you, and what's kind of happening between the two of you? And are they going to come back? I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I first started tapping into the energy of this group, I had this elated energy of literally being like, oh yes, they're definitely coming back. Oh my gosh. Like, absolutely, I'm 110% sure that they're coming back to me. And it was interesting because I felt like I needed to ground my energy, and then the exact opposite energy came through. So maybe there might be a mental illness in related to this energy. Maybe you guys are struggling with something, or maybe this other person is. But I'm definitely seeing there's a form of deception going on in between you and this person where you kind of need to reconcile it. I don't know if maybe this person was very not healthy and you were not aware of the danger that you were in with this person. I'm definitely feeling there might have been abandonment traumas coming in, but specifically this person kind of feels a little regressive. And I was about to say aggressive, but regressive in particular is kind of telling me that maybe this person does not, like, I don't feel like this person treats women very well. They don't treat men well. They're not as healthy as I think you were anticipating. There's definitely some sort of a regret. Maybe either you did or this person did in this situation, but I think you're kind of like, you're searching for hope about what's actually going on. I'm going to pull some cards just to get some clarification because I'm not sure what's going on with this energy here. Yeah, I feel like you guys are really projecting a positive lens on this person when they really were not as interested in you as you perceived. Let me go ahead and pull some cards. Yeah, you're healing from this situation. I feel like this person is distant, but not for the right reasons. Threatened, projecting, crickets. Yeah, some of you guys, so there's a little bit of a mixed bag for you guys. Some of you guys, this person is intentionally keeping you distant because they are trying to be controlling and manipulative towards you. I'm sorry, take what resonates. But specifically with projecting, I'm seeing you guys projecting this particular man with all the abs and whatever. You are perceiving him as very, very masculine, in control, and you're like thinking, oh, he's hot, he's whatever, when really he's manipulative. He's not. He has the intention to harm and control you, and because he knows that you're desperate for in this no contact situation, yeah, he's gonna come back, but he's not coming back because he likes you. It's because he doesn't respect you. Okay, and what some of you guys really need to hear, this hard lesson, is if a guy hurts you, leaves, and comes back, and you still take him back, that is showing him that he can abuse you. That is a symptom of being an abuse survivor. Again, I'm not a mental health professional, but I am warning you that this kind of behavior is not something that you should be accepting in your life, and you need to really take personal responsibility for protecting yourself against this behavior. Again, this non-action. Again, for some of you, the person, they aren't going through things. I feel like you guys make a lot of excuses for your dating partners in the past, and so you're kind of like, I almost see you guys kind of floating, and trying to be like, oh, this person knows how to keep me grounded. Like, a lot of you guys are very not grounded because you're scared. You're kind of used to this manipulative action. Maybe you were very deeply hurt in the past by a trauma. And so now you're very distant from yourself. I feel like maybe when you were a young person, you had a very different view of life. But since either a person came in and either destroyed your future, or there's just like a distance from yourself that you need to consider healing. With this threatened card, embarrasses appearances, I feel like a lot of you guys, maybe you wear a lot of makeup to try to attract a certain type of person, and you're believing that the person that you desire wants that type of performance, but you're not realizing that that's kind of grooming behavior. I'm not gonna lie, like, there's something about this. There's like a persona that you put out to the public, or you put out towards men, that is not attracting healthy partners. Okay, and again, this is specifically for the female audience. For the men in this audience, or non-binary people, because I think they're kind of in the minority here. There's something about the projecting of maybe you have a stereotype of the opposite sex that you feel like, oh, this person is like wounded or whatever. Maybe you look for the wounded birds. Maybe you are like, oh, this person needs my help and I'm the only one that can do it. But you are not realizing that this non-action does not mean that they're busy or distracted. You just kind of like, your brain mentally slips in an answer for why they're not responding to you rather than actually looking at what you're doing to keep yourself attached to this person. Again, there's a lot of trauma wound energy in here that I'm gonna. The rest of this reading is gonna go into that. So if you've already got your answer about what's going on and you don't want to hear about how to resolve this, then please leave now and go find another reading because I am not the reader for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what you can do to heal because I want you guys to break free of these patterns and release this kind of trauma energy because, again, with threatened, you guys are putting yourself in unhealthy situations and situationships that you should not be going into. All right, and again, maybe something to do with a situationship. Maybe you guys are making excuses because you're like, oh, well, because we're not committed, I don't care that much. It doesn't matter. Regardless of the type of relationship you have with another person, you need to have healthy boundaries because you should be valuing yourself. And there's something about the energy in this reading where you are not respecting your worth, your truth, and that people should not be treating you poorly. Okay? I'm going to repeat that. People should not be treating you poorly. Anyways, we're going to move on to the rest of the reading. So check out if you're not here to change, because this one's gonna be a little spicy. This one might hurt a little bit, but I want you guys to be safe, and I want you guys to understand that I'm calling forward energies and information to better support you so that way you get out of the cycle. I don't want to see anybody in unhealthy partnerships and relationships. And tarot is meant to be used as a tool to help you, not to continue delusion. You know what I mean? I'm not the reader for that. I'm definitely going to tell you how it is and not allow you to stay stuck in these cycles. And nor will I profit from that because I'm not gonna take your money if you want to try to convince me to do a reading for you about fixing the situation, because no, I don't do any kind of work or support any kind of work that tries to change this person or manipulate it so that way you can have this idealistic person that's not real. Okay, especially like you don't go looking through the garbage for gold. All right. I mean, yeah, if you go to a landfill, you may eventually find something valuable, but how much nasty things do you have to pull out in order to get to that? 9 times out of 10, you're not going to find it. And by the time you're done looking through it, you're already going to be covered in trash and you're going to be tired and exhausted and wasted energy when you could have actually been going and finding the gold that is meant for you. A lot of you guys stay in these situations because you are running away from the standpoint that somebody taught you that this pattern's okay and taught not from good intentions. It's almost like you were kind of conditioned this way and you just need to release that energy. Social status is important to me. Yeah, so maybe, for example, you are attracting narcissists or people that are only focused on rising the social ladder. They don't care who they hurt. And so whenever they see you kind of be like, oh, I want you. Maybe you're only focused on the money. Maybe you're only focused on how this person will make you look good. I'm just going to tell you right now, have some more self-respect. Have some more self-respect and better self-esteem, because this person is not going to help you in a crisis. They're not going to help you when you need something. A lot of you might be saying, oh, well, they helped me with this. They were only doing it to keep you around. This is very transactional energy, and they don't really care about what's going on with you or with your personal boundaries. I'm so jealous. Oh my God. So you might be jealous of what this person has. Maybe you're like, hey, well, I'm pretty and attractive, and this person happens to have money, so I deserve that. And you're kind of unrealistic of what it means to actually dating men with wealth, and also dating men with wealth with values. Okay, again, a majority of this audience is going to be feminine, so sorry for the non-binaries and the guys out there. Just give me some grace here, because this is a big wound coming out in this. But you may be jealous of maybe other women that you're like, oh wow, she's pulling guys that look like this and whatever, or I'm seeing it on social media, and that doesn't mean they're getting treated right. Okay, I want to reiterate this to you. That does not mean they're getting treated well. It does not mean that they're mentally okay. There's a lot of systemic oppression of women that goes on all the time in certain type of fields. Maybe you've been like, oh well, maybe I should go do OnlyFans, or maybe I should go do this. And I'm not talking trash about sex workers, but if you talk to any sex worker, they can tell you about all of the dangers and obstacles that they've faced in that work. And I want you to understand that whatever your life path is your life path, but don't let trauma destroy what's left of you. Okay? Don't let a relationship or social status prevent you from having a healthy existence and peaceful too. Especially if a lot of you guys, like, again, I might even be confused why you're even asking about this reading, about this no contact, because I don't think that you guys are really necessarily looking for love in the sense of someone who's actually not going to abandon you. I don't even think some of you guys know what that looks like, or you feel deeply wounded to a point where you don't think that exists out there. I'm going to tell you right now, love does exist, but you got to do the healing work first to get to it. You know how to take care of yourself. You got this. All right. And I'm going to really iterate that to you guys. You guys know how to take care of yourself. You guys didn't start off in this pattern. And I know that you guys have ancestors and family members that are watching you from afar that are saying, we know this isn't good for you. We know that you can choose better from this type of lifestyle that's preventing you from getting what you deserve. We've got the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, start focusing on your own financials. Because right now I'm seeing a lot of you guys, part of the reason why you're so focused on these no contact situations or these manipulative people is money, right? I think you guys learned that women should be relying on men financially, and you guys are not putting any energy into the financial side. Like, I'm not saying you guys don't know basic finances, but what I am saying is I kind of feel like there's like a infantilized feminine projection onto you that kind of keeps you trapped. Because women do know plenty about money, and you should be very careful about watching your partner's finances, watching the money flow with this person, because this person's very transactional. And because of that, they're like, all right, well, if I pay for this, if I buy you X, then you give me sex. If you don't give me sex, then I don't want you, right? And you guys are emotionally attaching to people that they don't see a relationship with you at all. They just see you as an object. And you don't want to objectify yourself around these people. And obviously, the partners that you're around, they have the burden of unpacking that. But what I'm saying for you guys, for your healing process, don't play into that. Remind yourself, I am not an object to this person. And if someone is objectifying me, then it's a hell no. Okay? What is this right here? We've got, I think this is the 9 of Cups. Yeah, so basically, your spirit guide team's trying to allude to the fact that, you want to have that family abundance. You want to have that financial security on your own first. And you kind of have abundance around you. Like, some of you guys got really great supportive friendships. And those are where you should be really putting your time and energy into, especially if you want to get away from this. Some of you guys you're flaky with your friends when the guys come around, or you kind of don't share everything that's going on with your friendships, and you need to be trusting your relationships better, because if you don't feel that comfortable telling your friends about what you're actually doing with these guys, then, or if you're afraid of someone objecting from who you're dating, then you really got to ask yourself, am I treating myself right here? Okay, because some of you guys are not respecting yourselves by allowing people that are important to you out of it, right? Especially people that care. And again, there's something I'm feeling in my heart space where it's almost like, there's not something clicking inside that other people do care about you. Take what resonates. But again, if you're having relationships, it's one thing if you're having a good time, but if you continue to seek out situationships that are not providing anything back for you, they're just taking your life force from you, honey. Like, I'm literally seeing it. You're kind of like, oh, it's just a situationship, so it doesn't matter. I'm just having fun. Ha ha ha. That's a lie, right? Remember the card at the beginning of this reading with the clown face or whatever? Your ego is threatened. There is something that you are scared of that you can't identify. And you absolutely know that guys should not be treating you this way. You know that your partner should not be treating you this way. So like, let's flip it on the masculine side. Some of you guys have been entertaining women that they don't care. They've just been using you for your money. And it's kind of interesting because these energies are usually the polar opposite. They split, right? Where someone is the giver and someone's the taker, and it's all transactional because we can't feel our real emotions here. We've got the Five of Swords, which this card is all about, yeah, I got there, but at what cost? So, okay, maybe you're trying to get the top of the social ladder and say, yeah, you find that hot guy. You get that money, you get that whatever. But by the time you're standing on top and you're in your mid-30s and you look around and realize that you don't have real friends around you, that you don't have anybody to call, that this person you're sleeping next to that you're married to will replace you with a younger model, a hotter model, more money, whatever status thing, are you really going to be that happy? All right. I'm not selling you guys BS here. Okay. I don't like this energy. This is not something that I personally resonate with. And in order for you to get through this, you got to be really honest with yourself. Look at, I believe this is the Ace of Cups. Okay. It's either the Ace of Cups or the Empress energy. I forget with this deck. But specifically, it is all about pure, divine, feminine energy. Yes, it's the Ace of Cups. My bad. I saw it on the thing. Oh no, it's the Page of Cups. My bad. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to take all that thing I just said right there, and it's almost like you need to start defining who are you. Depending on your stage of life, make sure that you're not resistant to the wisdom of those that are older than you. Especially, for example, there are plenty of women that were making the same mistakes as you, so it's not like you don't have other people that you can talk to about this sort of thing. Maybe there were some bad traumas that happened to you as a girl, or maybe whatever, and you just kind of kept it moving because you thought that that was the way the world works. And I just want to let you know that whatever stage of life you're at, whatever phase you're at in your healing process, right? Because like maybe you have done some healing work. I don't feel like you guys have done the deep diving, but I feel like, some of you guys just started and you're kind of still figuring out your identity. Most of you, I feel like your identity got lost in this culture that really took from you. But in any case, tapping into your authentic femininity, not what society tells you, not what your parents teach you, but what is authentic to your truth, right? And I've been noticing that I'm stumbling on my words almost because maybe you have a hard time talking about your truth. And so maybe get some vocal lessons, start learning to speak out loud your truth, because that's going to attract abundance, and it's going to also keep these types of people away, specifically because nothing chases away a narcissist or a douchebag better than women having boundaries, than men saying, hey, I believe that this relationship's not going in the direction I'd planned for. No, thank you. I'm not able to give you financial support at this time. Because regardless of gender, nobody should be giving all of their financial power over to the opposite sex. All right, I don't care what your relationship status is. If you are not able to be independent on your own first as an adult, you get into some very dangerous territory with this. And that is what gives people the ability to have power over you. You are allowed to attract money and wealth on your own, and it's allowed to belong to you. Again, I don't care if you're a guy or a girl, because women, at some point, we got to take a stand and say, hey, I'm responsible for myself, okay? And I can't get angry at men when they take away all my power if I gave that to them. Do not give that to them. You are responsible for your power. You are capable and in charge of your life. You are allowed to make money and keep that money. If you are a man, you are allowed to make money and keep that money. Some of you guys, even though if you want to play into those traditional gender roles of financial providing, that doesn't mean your wife has the ability to just take all of your money from you, especially if you're trying to take care of children, if you're trying to build a business or whatever. Like, no. You guys need to start creating better financial boundaries and understanding that you can't be abandoning yourselves in your relationships, especially financially, because you're losing all of your leeway to be able to do things for yourself, and then you're upset whenever things don't work out, right? You're just victimizing yourself and placing yourself in a cycle. All right. I know some of you guys maybe didn't want to hear that, but if I'm not the right reader for you, then carry on with your life. But if you did like any of the things you said, if you felt inspired, if you feel like this was helpful for you and made you kind of think, I appreciate you guys listening to me because this is kind of a hard, triggering topic to discuss, but I am all about empowering women to take care of themselves and empowering men. I don't discriminate for everybody in their gender identities. Please like and subscribe for more content and comment down below if this resonated with you. I do offer private booking sessions, so if you'd like to work on some of these issues or just get a general reading in general about a person, my DMs are open. I also do live streams every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 7 p.m. Central Time. Follow me on the social medias, and I will see you all next time. Take care.